Chalo, the next chapter which we are going to revise now is the chapter of ISD, Input Service Distributor. Everyone over here, let me go ahead and give a quick linking first of all. Input Service Distributor. Everyone over here. We started learning GST with goods or service. Goods or service has to be supplied. Supply can be either interstate or intrastate. Interstate supply, IGST shall be levied. Intrastate, CGST and SGST shall be levied. Once GST is levied, it has to be collected and paid by a taxable person. How will he collect, sir? He will calculate GST is equal to value of supply into rate of tax. Once you know the value, you will go ahead and prepare tax invoice, credit note, debit note, and you will maintain all on. You will go ahead and also issue delivery challan. All this you will go ahead and maintain accounts and records, and you will send the goods to the other person with the help of a e-way bill. Now, once you go ahead and send the goods, government says, Ramesh, what are you waiting for? Your liability has come. Your liability to pay GST comes at the time of supply. Once your liability comes, you will go ahead and use your input tax credit. Now, here, adjoining chapter was job worker chapter, wherein we went ahead and learned if you go ahead and buy some goods which you are sending to the job worker, or you are going ahead and directly dispatching it to the job worker, then also as per section number 19 you can go ahead and take the credit, but subject to getting the goods back within 1 year or 3 years. Yes sir, remember. Now one more chapter attached is input service distributor, ISD ka chapter, input services ka distributor. So I am an head office which is basically going ahead and receiving services ka invoice and going ahead and distributing to the branches. If I want to distribute to the branches, I have to go ahead and take the registration as input service distributor. Always remember one thing, input services ka credit is being distributed by an input services ka credit ka distributor, which is an ISD. Input services ka credit is distributed. Input and capital goods related credit is not distributed by an ISD. Very important. They will give you in the exam input service, inputs and capital goods which are received, for which the invoices are received by the head office. Baba, always remember inputs and capital goods related distribution you will never go ahead and do. Okay sir, done. Now here is Reliance ka head office. Reliance ka head office went ahead and received an advertisement services for its branches. Always remember one thing, for the branches, when the head office is going ahead and receiving the invoice, it can go ahead and distribute only to those branches which are under the same pan. Means ISD ka concept, always remember, works whenever you are distributing under to those recipients who are under your same pan. Okay sir, so here what happened, an advertisement company Pogo went ahead and gave the invoice to the head office. Sir, if the head office is within the same state, they will go ahead and give in charge in the invoice CGST, SGST. If the advertisement company and the head office are not in the same, then they will go ahead and charge IGST. Means if the advertisement company and the head office is in the same state, CGST, SGST different state, they will go ahead and charge IGST. Okay, now head office wants to go ahead and distribute the credit. Head office first of all has to take compulsory registration under section number 24 if it wants to go ahead and distribute the credit. Secondly, always remember, when the head office wants to go ahead and distribute the credit, it can go ahead and distribute by using a ISD invoice. So supplier will give me tax invoice, we will go ahead and give ISD invoice for the distribution of the credit. Okay sir, point is clear. Always remember one thing, if I have gone ahead and received an invoice in which CGST and SGST is being charged, and I am distributing to a recipient in the same state, basically the person who is under my pan and he is in the same state, basically the recipient, then I can go ahead and distribute CGST, SGST at CGST and SGST. If I am going ahead and distributing CGST and SGST in different state, the quality of an ISD is to go ahead and distribute it as IGST. If it is distributed in different state, as IGST. Always remember, supplier gave tax invoice charging CGST, SGST, same state distributed as CGST, SGST, different state distribute as IGST. Supplier gave an invoice charge IGST, I will distribute in the same state also as IGST and different state also as IGST. Always remember, whenever you are going ahead and distributing, you should distribute in the ratio of the turnover of the previous year, basically preceding financial year, that is the previous year, when all the three units, basically if you are distributing to this unit, all the three units turnover should be existing in the last year. Sir, if they are not existing in the last year, any one of the unit, then take previous quarter ka turnover and accordingly do the distribution ratio based on the turnover of previous year. If previous year ka turnover with respect to all the recipient is not available, then take previous quarter for which details of all the recipients ka turnover is available. Okay, sir. Always remember, from your turnover exclude central excise duty, state excise duty, VAT, and CST. Okay, sir. You told when distribution is done, CGST and SGST distribute in the same state as CGST, SGST, different state as IGST. IGST to be distributed always as IGST. Whenever you are distributing, always remember, take the turnover of the recipient divided by the total turnover multiplied by the credit to be distributed. That is the amount of credit which you are going to distribute. Okay, sir. This is very simple. This is just put in a formula, but it is just telling that you have to go ahead and distribute in the ratio of the turnover. Okay, sir. Always remember, if the supplier is going ahead and issuing me a tax invoice, I will go ahead and issue a ISD invoice. If the supplier is issuing me a debit note, so that the credit is increased, I will not go ahead and issue debit note to the recipients. I will go ahead and issue a ISD invoice only. Supplier went ahead and issued me a credit note, I will go ahead and issue ISD credit note. That's what I'm telling. Supplier gives me tax invoice, I give ISD invoice. Supplier gives debit note, I give ISD invoice. Supplier gives me a credit note, I will give ISD credit note. Got it, sir? The next one over here, always remember, sir, if I have gone ahead and received one invoice which is with respect to one recipient, then distribute to only that recipient. If I have gone ahead and received one invoice and it is with respect to more than one, then distribute to them. Sir, if it is with respect to all the recipient, then distribute to all. That is what is being told. Exclusive services, distribute only to that recipient. Common credit greater than one, distribute to all such recipient. Distribute among such recipient. And common credit attributable to all, distribute among all recipient. Always remember, ISD is with respect to distribution of credit relating to services only. It will not go ahead and distribute credit relating to input or capital goods. Always remember one thing, you should go ahead and distribute the credit in the same month. Always distribute the credit in the same month. And ISD should go ahead and distribute the credit which is eligible credit also, ineligible credit also. Basically, block credit also ISD will go ahead and distribute. It is up to the front party, this basically the recipient, whether they can take or not. They will go ahead and decide. They will always go ahead and distribute. Whenever an ISD is going ahead and distributing, it will distribute CGST, SGST, UTGST, and IGST separately. Always distribution is to be done separately for the GST. Sir, for an example, ISD wants to go ahead and distribute the credit. Always remember, to increase the credit or to go ahead and give more credit, ISD gives ISD invoice. If by chance one month what happened, they distributed something more. They went ahead and distributed something more to one recipient. How to reduce the credit? To reduce the credit, it will give ISD credit note. Always remember one thing, wrong distribution by an ISD will give credit note to the wrong unit so that their credit comes down, and they will go ahead and give ISD invoice to the correct unit so that the correct unit ka credit goes up, and this will be reported in the GSTR 6. Always remember one thing, for an example, in this month, ISD is going ahead and distributing credit 10 lakh. But sir, credit distribution is 10 lakh as per the invoice, but ISD credit note is 12 lakh rupees with respect to that branch. So if I am going ahead and distributing to one branch 10 lakh rupees and I am giving to the same branch credit note 12 lakh rupees, it means 2 lakh rupees will come under negative. That will be added to the branch ka output tax liability. Negative amount apportioned to a unit shall be added to its output tax liability. Credit note amount greater than the ITC distributed basically with the help of the debit note or the ISD invoice. Yes, sir. If the credit amount is 12 lakh rupees, distributed is only 10 lakh. So, sir, credit note is 12 lakh, distributed is only 10 lakh. 2 lakh rupees will be added to the output tax liability of the unit or the branch. Okay, sir, got it. Always remember one thing. ISD files GSTR 6, which is monthly by next month ka 13. This month ka whatever credit to be distributed by next month 13, they will go ahead and file ISD invoices, whichever they have gone ahead and issued, they will go ahead and show in the GSTR 6, and the GSTR 6 may whatever they show will be reflected in the recipient ka GSTR 2A. Sir, for an example, Karnataka has been given extra credit. Then, Baba, either the ISD will go ahead and rectify by issuing credit note. Supposingly, me as a branch have received extra credit, then the ISD will go ahead and rectify by issuing an ISD credit note. What if they have not gone ahead and rectified their mistake? Then I should go ahead and pay the voluntarily the excess amount of credit which I have gone ahead and taken. I should go ahead, if excess distribution is done, I should go ahead and pay the excess voluntarily using form GST DRC 03, and I should pay along with interest. Sir, if I don't go ahead and pay that extra amount which has been distributed to me, then always remember, if you don't pay voluntarily, tax authorities will initiate proceeding under 73 or 74. They will go ahead and give you a demand order, and then recovery will start. Sir, this is what is to be done when ISD receives extra. Also, they are going ahead and telling, because ISD ka unit, input service distributor, not the head office, the recipient has gone ahead and received extra, so they will go ahead and pay it back to the government. But sir, what about the head office which has gone ahead and distributed extra? To the head office also general penalty will be there under section number 122, which is 10,000, or excess credit distributed, whichever is higher. Always remember, 10,000 under CGST and 10,000 under SGST, or excess credit distributed under CGST, excess credit under SGST, whichever is higher. Are we clear, everyone? Yes, sir, we got it. Here I am done with your small and sweet chapter of ISD. Always remember, input service distributor distributes the credit with respect to input services only, not with respect to input or capital goods. Sir, I can go ahead and say it's a C graded chapter. Sometime what happened, they will ask on job work one small question. Sometime they go ahead and ask on ISD. But you can expect either of them say 3 to 5 marks in the exam, either out of ISD or out of job work. 1 3 marks question can be expected in the exam. Here I will go ahead and stop my revision on input service distributor.